is the president, Kenya University Student Association, that is Anthony Manyara, who is also a youth leader. Karibu sana Gen Z Manifesto. We also have Don Ochieng, anaambia yeye ni governor, Faculty of Business, that is University of Nairobi, Lower Kabete campus.
Yes.
Very nice. Also, he happens to be a committee member of the new funding model committee, where he was appointed by president, akakula kiapo, atatuambia alifanya kazi gani akiwa hapo. But now to start with Manyara. Ever since I was in campus personally, ever since enzi za kina Babu Wino wakiwa student leaders, campaign point number 1 inakuanga help. Where do we go wrong with help? Mbona comrades kila siku wanateta?
I think thank you so much for hosting me here. I think the most important question is if at all the money that is supposed to be allocated to students, or rather the money that is constitutionally provided for to support education, does it reach students in time? You know, the question is it in time? Because wakati unaona wanafunzi wanaandamana now and then is because there is late disbursements. What is the ripple effect of having delays? Hiyo ni kumaanisha wanafunzi wanainama, I mean in layman terms. That means they go without food, they go without basics, and even surviving in school becomes difficult. So when such a scenario occurs, the government is late when it comes to enacting this, students become impatient because there are exams that they take in institutions which require for them to register units. Most of them actually, they also rely the money to buy basics, food, you know, those things. So it becomes very difficult really to, and na hiyo mambo ikifanyika hivyo, sasa mambo inaanza kuchemka pale campus, watu wanaanza kujiorganize. Ndio unaona kuna maandamano.
Wacha nikuulize, wewe umekuwa kwa leadership ya campus for quite some time.
Sure.
Ukiengage na gava, wao wanakuexplainia aje hiyo time yenye at the heat of the moment pesa imechelewa? How do
I think what really delays funds is bureaucracy, and I think the intention, wakati mwingine unajua the government may delay in terms of prioritizing you know, allocation to education issues, because why would you really allocate funds to the National Assembly, you know, CDF, MPs, keep on increasing those funds and then fail to prioritize matters to do with students? So in my opinion, I think there's a matter of leadership. I think going forward, maybe in the years to come, tunafaa kuwa tunakuwa hata na MP mmoja mwenye ana represent interests za students in National Assembly. Tunafaa kuwa na viongozi, you know, in regional level, so that these students can be able to be prioritized. Remember, even the board itself, HELB, I don't think there's any student representation there. So becomes their voices, they become suppressed.
Okay, yeah. Sawa. Tunakuja kwa hiyo. But Don Ochieng.
Yes.
You were appointed by the president.
Yes.
The comrades were very happy that one of their own would go to defend them. One would ask themselves, kwani hamkutetea comrade?
Thank you so much for hosting me today. I'm Governor the UN, Don Ochieng, student leader, UN. I happen to be appointed by the president as a member of the new funding committee, model committee.
Yes.
Okay, to start with, it's a fact. It's a fact that our students are suffering, and it's a fact that help delays, and it's a fact that there's a mess in this education sector, from the ministry to the government itself. And to my comrades, as I always state it clearly, that when dictatorships becomes a fact, then revolution is a right.
But so, ngoja before tuende kwa kizungu mingi, ulikuwa kwa committee?
Yeah, nilikuwa.
What are some of the recommendations you give there, and are they being implemented? Is there cooperation?
Okay. To respond to your question, I think the main aim or the main reason as a committee member was to interpret, analyze, finalize, and come up with a model that is favorable to both the students, the universities, and even the government itself. So we've done a lot as the committee, It's only that we were done with the interim report and we were to submit it to the appointing authority. But as you are aware, this is Kenya, and here we have politicians, there are politics everywhere. So it's just some kind of malicious act within the ministry that has denied us to take our interim report to the government.
Wait. For me to get you clearly, unasema president aliwaappoint, mkaketi,
tukafanya kazi, tuka come up na the interim report, not the final.
Interim report.
Interim report.
Na kwa nini hamjampelekea?
So, okay, like you see, after interpreting the report as a committee,
yes,
it's now the work of the ministry through the CS and the PS of higher education, Madam Beatrice Nyangala, to now interpret further the report so that we as a committee, we are called, then we take it to the appointing authority. That has not been done.
So there is where the ball has been dropped.
Exactly.
All right. And probably to come to Manyara, I think the conversation we started probably, and other than delaying in the disbursement of these funds, hii pesa inatosha comrade to meet the needs?
Well, when I was chairman University of Nairobi in 2018, 2019, I've been CUSO chair for quite a while. Students keep even electing me in absentia, so it really is not my intention to keep serving. So when I was chairperson back then, I remember very well we pushed for help to be increased in the universities. That time it was around 35,000 to around 42,000. TVET institutions we increased from 20,000 to 35,000. Which actually for them, remember, are killing themselves. Suicides, I think those cases are very much rampant today. It becomes very difficult. The issues of abduction. I will tell you as a matter of fact, delays, they really affect students in a very great way. It was never there before. It only came when with the introduction of this new funding model issue, which, if you remember, there are students at allocation stage. Stages. Their portal, it's showing that it's they 6 million. And the president, the other Friday, they claimed that they had released 17 billion to pay help funds. This is not something which I can substantiate because we have not gone there to access the records. But what I have witnessed today, because yesterday I talked to the new CEO for help, it's called Geoffrey Monari, and I told him categorically that students are the verge of dropping out. You know, there are a lot of desperation here and there. And I remember,
what did he say?
And I remember him saying that the payment was done way before. But today is when students, some of them, majority, have just been seeing their views on social media, on my platforms, them seeing that some of them have been, you know, elevated from the verified stage to allocated stage.
So allocated now, technically means
after allocated stage,
imetenga.
Hiyo ni kumaanisha ya kwamba pesa iko kwa njia. Si kumaanisha imeingia, iko kwa njia.
Imetengwa.
So now we have to fight more for it now to be disbursed. That is the last stage. If it's disbursed now, then it's credited to the accounts.
Well, indeed, that paints quite some picture of how the situation looks like in terms of the higher education loan spot. Linda, to your side of the panel, kwa wenzangu walio na suti. Today, leo suti ni mingi sana hii studio. What do they have to say about this?
Ama yao imeingia, you know? We never know. Maybe yao imeingia.
Confirm.
No, ameanza na suti. But well, you know, Kagina, when Don was speaking, I was wondering now, they've written, they've forwarded the proposals, but now there's no feedback, there's no follow-up, even being in the committee. So has the power of the students been undermined? That's the question. But well, let's begin with this beautiful right here. Talk to me. What's your name? And imecheki nama.
Okay, my name is Regina Kirote na bado hujacheki.
Bado you check in. Did you apply? How has the process been and what are your concerns in regards to that?
I applied but bado iko verification stage and the procedure ya kuapply was very procedural but due to disbursement delays bado hatujapata.
Wewe uko sawa tu na kutenga, si ndio? Iko kwa
Nasubiri
njia.
tu, sina budi.
But well, let me have you speak. You were so eager to inject kwa Don. What were your concerns?
First and foremost, let me say this. If lies could walk, talk, and wear a suit, it probably will be William Ruto.
Uh-oh.
Hiyo ni jaba alikuwa anatuambia. Or probably President William Ruto will have maybe given us the exact date because he said on Friday. So we don't know it is on Friday, whether it is Friday, September, or it is Friday, March. So what I can say is, for this government, especially when it comes to the education sector, they always have a way of finding trouble, diagnosing it incorrectly, and even applying the wrong remedies. Looking at the help associated with the new funding model, it is a mess, it is pathetic. Yesterday, when I received the invitation, I did a case study of around 50 students. And I realized out of that, 33 had not received their semester 2 help allocation. It is disbursement in progress. So, Rais, pali huko, I don't know where you are. Hizo story ni za jaba. Or these people are lying to you. Whether you are not even sure if this 1.56 billion is still going to be allocated to the students.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much. Miss K is on the other side. Miss K, engage us.
With amesema nimuite Mutuse coming up. Mutuse, the lawyer. Your president over there, Anthony, amesema suicide cases zimesikikana kuinama. I really want to understand from your perspective, yeah? Effects gani ume feel because of the delay of this help?
Thank you very much. Chola Joseph here, wakili. As you have said, Mutuse, but not that Mutuse. Okay, from the University of Nairobi, I'm here to talk about what we feel on the ground and confirm what my senior said, that everything in stories are jaba. That is the same stories are jaba that we were told that this new funding model will be in favor of somebody like me, like him, or like him, or like her. But when everything came about and turned against everything, and we came to realize that it was all stories are jaba when somebody who was supposed to be placed in band 1 or any other band, according to the documentation about the new funding model that we were given, found himself or herself in another band far away from the facts of the statement of the documentation. That is the first jabber that we received from the government on the new funding
But
model.
they're saying that you can appeal.
Yeah,
Correct the
appealing. Okay, as he has said that they are always very ready to diagnose and to point out where the problem is after it has happened, after we have seen its negativity or how it has blundered us up. So the issue of appealing came about after comrades amefinywa na kufinywa na kufinywa. That is when they said wakiona comrades wanajaribu kuenda pale kwa streets wanasema hii funding model I work. That is when they said now we are opening avenues, you can now go and do what? And appeal. And even after appealing, we came to realize that the appealing fell into hard grounds. And some people appealed and their bans are still ni ile tu.
So kuna shida bado. Linda,
Yes.
do you have any question for your people on your side?
Absolutely, absolutely. Kindly introduce yourself. Na kama yako imecheck in utuambie mapema. Imecheck in. Hi.
Na bado ija check in. Yeah.
Now, what are your concerns? Has this affected you? The disbursement, the slow disbursement has affected any areas of your, while you're conducting your education?
Yeah, sure, because during our course registration, we're not able to register our courses because of insufficient fee. Yeah, it's actually doing us harm as students. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Perhaps I can just engage him right here. Kindly introduce yourself and share your concerns as well. Now, tuambie kama imekam.
So thank you for hosting me here. My name is Mark Njero Gonjiri from the Multimedia University of Kenya. On the table. My comrades that I represent are not yet given the help because when you check even my WhatsApp, most of the comrades are crying to us, the student leaders, what is happening. They even formed a committee, of which I also have a question to the committee. What is the relevance of the committee if it is not going to be listened? I think the committee should be disbanded. Because it has failed the comrades, and I actually believe some of the members of the committee were allegedly given some amount to let the story slip. And I say that without fear of contradiction, but let me just not go beyond that point.
But then allow me, Dan, just to engage Don on the other side where Kagina is. Don, what do you have to say about that? Because even calling for the disbandment of this particular committee if the students are not feeling the weight of the committee itself.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll respond to his question. Maybe his concern. You know, at the end, we are all comrades. And as we always say, a comrade is always right. Even if I'm a member of a committee, but at the back of my mind, I know I'm representing my comrades.
But are you pushing for
So
reforms?
it's something we've been working on as student leaders within the committee. But as you can see, the delays are within the ministry.
On the allegation of funding, do you agree with him? Are there some people ambao wameonjeshwa kitu?
No. For me, I'm not aware of that. Because I've never seen where we are being bribed to do this. Because at the end, if we are bribed, then we failed our comrades. And as a matter of fact, I agree with him. At some points, we are not being listened to as students in that committee. There are those powerful guys within. And that's why I started by saying there are some kind of malicious act within the ministry that these guys are sabotaging education. For your information, the other day you heard that mathematics will not be compulsory. So I'm wondering how. So you see the decision they're trying to make, they don't engage the main stakeholders, and those are the students.
Then there is a big gap between the committee and the government, the body that is supposed to be governing this particular committee. Yeah. Well, Dan, allow me just to engage him. What are your concerns when it comes to help?
My name is Victor Makanzi. I'm a student leader at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. Yes, I must insist. So, excuse the question, please.
What are your concerns when it comes to help?
Okay, my concerns when it comes to help. You know, like, for a very long time, we have been, I can say, I've been receiving this money, and at second year, I stopped receiving the money. Up to now, I stopped receiving the money. And as a comrade, this money is like a stipend to help us. And if they're not disbursing it, how are they helping us as the comrades?
Any recommendation in regards to that?
And I guess the biggest problem why this help has a big issue is because the government is not involving us like the comrades. There's public participation. We're not being involved. And if they get our views, the money is supposed to help us. And if they're not involving us as the Gen Z, as the youth.
Thank you so much.
How
Ms.
is
K?
it?
Yes. I want to hear from our guy here. Hello.
Hello.
What are your concerns again? As Linda is asking, na mambo na help. Yako imeingia kweli, yako imecheck, and if not, umekuwa ukisurvive aje shule?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Rolex Ochieng. I'm a law student at the University of Nairobi, a student leader here at the University of Nairobi. And I don't have to say this in this place, but let me just mention it. Also an aspiring MC Arujo Ward, Homa Bay County. The funding model, anything that I'm going to speak here should serve as a collective, as a representation of a collective voice. And it is what my friends who have engaged with have said about this funding model. Actually, the disbursement of help is affected by the funding model. Because you have seen even out of the statistics you gave there, the percentages, only 65% of of students are okay with this funding model. And I don't like this thing to be called a new funding model. This funding is a fiscally inadequate and structurally flawed funding model. It is not working, and our Gen Z manifesto, in this case, we want to say that this funding model is not working, and it is affecting the disbursement of help. My friend here is saying that he has been receiving the help money in his previous years, but with the introduction of the new funding model, he's no longer receiving that money. So it is the new funding model that should be removed. We want a new funding, a better funding model. I don't want to give this funding model a new funding model. I don't want to give it the name.
What are you saying?
It's actually not new. We want a new funding model that is working for students.
So are you saying like the SHA situation and this new
Yes.
funding model
Another
kidogo
funding
ni kama
model.
their sisters, cousins?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm against it. I'm against the new funding model, and it should be done away with.
And another one should be brought on board.
Yeah, another one should be brought on board that it will work. It should work.
It must work.
The workability
Okay.
must be there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Linda, I think we can get some feedback from comrades pale nyumbani.
Absolutely.
Let's have some feedback. Okay. All right, Richie Man anasema bado yake haijaingia na vile nimengoja. Richie Man, I'm so sorry. Tunazidi kungoja. Starbu anasema man, since last year iko verified, hata haina allocation. Na mmesikia hata Manyara said ukisikia iko allocation bado haijaingia pia hiyo. My goodness. Samuel Opili amesema iliingia saa to.
Oh.
Wow, would you look at that? Ernest A anasema unajua hukusema ni Friday gani, so maybe ni next year ama even 2027, who knows. Na unajua campaign ni kama imeanza. Anyway, Plangat Evans anasema yangu verified bado. Okay, let's see. Jeffrey Jeffs anasema tushamaliza do. Tushamaliza do. Yeah, amekula already. Hazard Krish Prince anasema I got 120,000, now I'm paying 206,000. This is a scam.
Wow.
You can see the numbers there don't make sense, my Linda. Trevor Kimutai says Kasongo alituweka ndani ya mfuko, hakuna help. Kasongo ni nani, Linda? Do you have an idea of who that is? I do not. Do you have an idea?
Yes, I have an idea.
All right. Any other feedback? All right. That's it for the feedback side.
Absolutely. Like Ms. Nani, but have you noticed that there is a disparity between the interest rates? It means the interest rate is quite high. If someone got an approximate of 120,000 shillings, then you repay with over 100%.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And now when you think about it,
Yeah.
last time we talked about unemployment. Sasa hii pesa inalipwa na
And
kazi gani?
and you can imagine the dire situation that the students are going through now in school.
Yeah.
And remember, there is mental health issues involved. There's a bigger picture than just help. Help can, a lack of this facility, loan facility, can emancipate to another thing. So
It's
wow.
terrible, but we're gonna find solutions.
Yeah, we'll fight another day.
Anyway, we will catch you in a minute. Let's go on a break.
Step up with DSTV and we'll show up by giving you more incredible entertainment.
It's game time.
Upgrade your subscription between the 13th of January and the 31st of March and get an even higher package for a whole month on us.
I nominate myself.
If you're on Access, step up to Family and we'll step you up to Compact. Hakuna kitu feel better than putting a little bit in but getting